Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Heidi from My Reading Life, and I'm here today to film my November TBR check-in and book haul. I apologize for the lighting and all of that. I've moved my TBR bookshelf in my bedroom, and it is wintertime in Maine, which means that it's 3:30 and it's practically dark. So we're relying on artificial lighting at this point, and so we're just gonna go with it. That's just how it is. So let's do the TBR balance sheet check-in first. Let us take a look at where we are. For November, I read a total of 12 books. I read off my shelf a total of 7 books. I brought in only 1 book. I know. And I unhauled 1 book. So that gives us -7 for the month. And our balance is 101 total on the physical TBR, which I am not sad about. I mean, we're heading into December, Christmas at the end of the month. Can I get this back below 100 for the end of the year? We'll see. I asked for a lot of books for Christmas, so, can I do it? I don't know. We'll have to see. But I did want to point out some other statistics. Now we're approaching the end of the year. I just wanted to take a look at my overall numbers and see where I stood. So year to date, I've read a total of books off my shelf. The total of books that I have read off my shelf year to date equals 76. I have unhauled 5 total. So that's a total of 81 books that have left my TBR shelves. They may still be in this house somewhere, but they are no longer needing to be read. So that's 81 total. And year to date, I have brought in additions to my TBR of 71. So that means I am 10 to the good overall. Overall, I am 10 to the good for the number of books that I've brought in for the year versus the number that have left the TBR shelf. So, I feel very confident about that. It feels really good to look at those big numbers. I hadn't looked at those before, and I think that I need to look at sort of the overall big picture, because maybe my physical TBR is always going to hover around 100 books, give or take 10 books or so, and I'm okay with that. If I'm bringing in less books overall during the year than I'm sending out again, then to me, that means I'm keeping up with my book acquisitions. So before we get off the topic of the TBR check-in, I just want to say that the book that I DNF'd and I will not be reading is this book. It's a novel. It was on the ancient TBR. So that means there's only 1 book left on the ancient TBR. So hopefully I can get through that this month. But this is Papa Martel. And it was written by Gerard Robichaud, and this is a Maine author. This is historical fiction that was first written. It was published in 2003 by the University of Maine Press at Orono, and is about the immigrant population to Lewiston, Maine in the 1930s, I think. This book was originally published by Doubleday in 1961, so it was reprinted in 2003 by University of Maine Press. And this is about the French-Canadian immigrants that moved to the Lewiston area in order to work in the factories in the early part of the 20th century. And this is, like I said, historical fiction, and I just was not interested. The writing style was not to my taste. I am not a huge reader of historical fiction in general, and I just felt like I tried to read this. It wasn't capturing my attention, and I was unwilling to, plow my way through it, 300 pages of a book that I wasn't connecting with. So I think I'm going to give this one to my mom and see if she would be interested in reading it, because she tends to appreciate historical fiction a little bit better than I do. So that's what's happened with that one. Now, the one new book that I added to my physical TBR is a book that I will be reading in December, because it is the Book Naturalist Book Club pick. It is A History of Wild Places by Shea, Ernshaw, and this is a novel, and this is about a utopian type commune in the wilderness. It's called Pastoral. It was a reclusive community founded in the 1970s. Some folks have gone missing. Is this commune associated with those missing people. We don't know. We shall find out. I really like this cover, this sort of, these faces in profile and these trees down here. I don't know. I find this very evocative, this cover. So we shall see. It sounds kind of like a suspense type novel, which is good because we were trying to read something in that mystery suspense type of vein for December, because traditionally that is like Cloak and Dagger Christmas time period. So that's why this one got purchased. So I thought I did really well in November to only pick up one book to add to my physical TBR. That was really great after the month before when it was 16 books that I brought in. So I thought I did really well reining myself back in. But of course, I knew in the back of my mind that December was on the horizon, and that meant probably some more books. So anyway, that is my TBR check-in and update. Pretty short one for November. I'm sure it will be much longer for December, and we will do a little bit of a wrap-up in terms of talking about the overall numbers. I hope you're all doing well and finding some great books to read. I will talk to you later.